Alright guys, and welcome to the final map of Black Ops 3. So in order to start Rev's Easter egg, you're going to see these tombstones off to your left, and it's going to be in orders 1, or the tombstones are 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to shoot it in 2, 3, 1, and 4. You should hear a little sound and a little fire animation among the tombstones. And then the next step that you're going to need is to find a rock, a pointy rock on one of the jump pads, and honestly, I believe those have some spawn points, but I'm not all too certain, so every time you do take a jump pad, just try and look backwards as it's, just so you can see if it's a pointy rock. You'll distinctly see it. It should just be a straight pointy rock. Now, I would just like to say thank you guys for enjoying the Go Ride video. After the first day, I looked at my phone to see how many views it got because I just got curious, and it had like 50 something views, and I'm just like, oh my god. So I just want to say thank you for that. So right here, I'm just getting the Marastagua, or the Apothicon Servant, and Little Arnie's, because those are required for the Easter egg. For this Easter egg, I require, obviously, the Marastagua, or Apothicon Servant, whichever you want to call it. The Little Arnie's, for obvious reasons, again, required for the Easter egg, and then the Thunder Gun. And then, for your third weapon, because if you do use Mule Kick, you're going to want a third weapon, obviously. Either go with the Dingo, Brecci, Haymaker, any of the really good and reliable guns. This run, I made a big mistake in not having the Thunder Gun with me, and you will see much later in the run that it was a complete mistake. So in order to activate Pack Punch, we need to go to all 4 of these, like, quote-unquote rituals, or like area lockdowns, where just a bunch of enemies spawn and then it's a certain timer and they all just go away. You're going to need 4 of those around the map. I kind of slimmed them down of just me starting it and then just cutting it, just so you guys aren't sitting there for like 30 seconds just watching me run around. And so right now, just killing zombies to just progress the round even more, trying to get a shopping free to open up the map. Now, because this is the last map of Black Ops 3's like main quest, like DLC cycle, if you guys want me to do any other maps, like any of the Zombie Chronicles Easter eggs, like Origins and Moon, which I know I said, I believe in the Zetsubo video, that those might be a possibility that I'm willing to do. I know I most likely will try and do the Origins Easter egg, because I've always wanted to do that solo. But if there's any like custom maps or challenges that you want me to do, especially on these existing maps, again, let me know. I'm down to do anything. Also, because this is the last map, and if you guys don't want any zombies, let me know again in the comments of what else you guys would want me to do, because I'm pretty much down for anything. And again, write down in the comments, just let me know, and I will hopefully make a video on that. So yeah, right now just going through shopping free, just opening up the map to Verrückt, and trying to get a Gobblegum here, but it just got clipped, and you just see me shake in anger. And so right here is going to be the first part for your Keeper Protector, so that's going to be the skull. The first part is going to be in the Verrückt area, which you saw at the bottom on the shelves. This is going to be the skull, and this Keeper Protector is required for this Easter egg. That was the first spot. This is the second spot up next to the ritual area that you need to do. And then the third and final spot is going to be right here on this wheelchair, right as you go onto the jump pad before. So now this is just going to be a collectathon of me, because I just wanted to get this all done on a low-ish round. The second part is going to be a flag. It's going to be at this area to the right of Mule Kick, just laying on the wall. And then the second and third spot is actually going to be in the Origins area. One's going to be up top, and one's going to be right in front of the double tap machine, which you guys will see in a second. So we're just going to go up on top of the mound, and right here into the snow, right next to this crystal, or the element 115 crystal. It's going to be standing right there. And then the third and final location for this crystal, or the flag, is going to be right in this empty slot, right in front of the double tap machine. So now we're just going to cut over to DE, which is on the opposite side to the right of origin, or right of spawn. It's going to be in that little pot for you guys. The second spot is going to be, I'm just going to open up this door. The second spot is going to be right here where this like element 115 is. I believe it's going to be floating a little bit. I haven't seen it personally in any of my games that I've played. And then the third and final spot is actually going to be in the Kino area. And right now I'm just going to turn these on just so I don't have to do it later on in the video. And I do believe I get this down before I die eventually. So we're just going to make our way over to Kino, and it's going to be the launch pad between Kino and I believe Verrückt, if I'm not mistaken. And it's just going to be sitting on this table right here. As you can see, I got that spawn in my game. And now there's a bunch of building terminals or stations that you can actually craft this at. There's actually one next to the statues down in the DE area, just beyond Shangri-La. And I actually got my pointy rock between spawn and going into Shangri-La, which I unfortunately didn't show you guys me like pointing it out, but you guys will actually see hopefully little clips of what it looks like. And so right now I'm just going to show you the shield spawns. This is going to be the first part, which you do need the rock, or not the rocks, the pads jump down. There was the second spot just sitting on the wall, and then the third and final spot right there. As you can see, that's where I got it in my game. Now the second spot is going to be in Verrückt again, right here on this wall. The second spot is going to be directly upstairs, and it's going to be just be sitting on top of these wheelchairs. This one I actually found to be fairly common. And then the third and final spot for the shield is just going to be right on top of this table right here, immediately when you come from, I believe, or Mob of the Dead to Verrückt. And then the third shields part is going, first spawn is going to be right on the chair to the right after you jump off. This is going to be the second spot, and then kill the zombie right here. And then third and final spot is going to be right here. So now again, as I'm doing this all in the low round just so I can have as much freedom and will as I can, just going to turn all these pods or rituals on just so I can do whatever the hell I want in this map. Now again, I really don't have anything else for zombies at the current moment. I kind of want to take a little break from it just because it did take me about a month and a half to get all of those Easter eggs done. Now right now I'm going to shoot all the cubes for the Apothicon Servant upgrade, and it's all element 115. First spot is at Mob of the Dead. Second spot is going to be at Verrückt up on the stairs. The third spot you can actually see on the distance to the right of the teleporter. But I'm also going to turn this on while I'm here just to make my life easy. The third spot is going to be at Der Eisendrache. It's going to be right above the actual center part, and you can do these in any order. I'm just doing this just because it was just the easiest way because it was in my travels. Then the fifth spot is going to be actually right at spawn. So the easiest way that I remember is there's going to be one at every single ritual that you do, and then it's also going to be two at Verrückt, which I don't know why they chose Verrückt to have two of them, but it is what it is. So I'm just going to build the shield just so I have a little bit of extra protection. After you do all four of your rituals, then you can actually come to this panel and knock, which is where you get all the teleporters, and then you're going to wait for the big giant Leviathan, or not Leviathan, I think it's Subnautica here. This big giant creature, I've honestly forgot whatever it's called. Then you're just going to shock it, and this is the one that actually ate the Pack-a-Punch machine at the very beginning of the map. He's going to suck you right in, and then you're just going to shoot these giant orb things. That's actually his stomach, just keeping it in together. So I just personally just shoot these down just so I can worry about getting this Keeper Protector. So I'm just going to jump pad over, and again, it's between Shangri-La and Spawn, and you can see it right there. And he was always finicky with me whenever I tried to put him into that spot, and he does this ritual over 3 minutes. Afterwards, he's going to drop a reel. You're going to take that to Kino. Then after that is done, this is why you want your little Arnie's. You're going to want your Arnie's, and you're going to throw into all the spawning holes in the giant Apothicon that has the Pack-a-Punch machine. Now, these are, at first, they were fairly difficult, so if you do mess up, always have a raindrops, max ammo, whatever you want, just so you can always refill. After you do a set of three Margwas are going to spawn right here. In all honesty, you don't have to kill them, but they do have a chance to drop a max ammo, so I personally kill them just because then I don't have to waste my raindrops. Now the second one, or second set of 3, I personally call it center, because I always do left, center, right, just so my brain can easily do this. This step takes me the longest because I am awful at making my throws, because actually recently on Wednesday, the 8th, I actually redid this Easter egg just to see if I can do any better, and I actually got the Thunder Gun. This Easter egg went so much better. Now the third set is going to be right here. Here I am just getting upset. And this is a good thing that I did not know, that if you do mess up a throw, you can flip rounds. If you're like, you throw 2, you miss your third one, but then you also, but then you have to flip the round accidentally. It's still going to transfer that data over, so if you do miss one, or you do miss a couple and it does flip the rounds, don't worry, it's not going to do anything. Then it's going to drop a reel, and then you're just going to take that to Kino, and then right after this it is going to be the bone step. There's going to be a bone here up on Knocked, and this is where you actually want the upgraded Apothicon Servant, and you have to shoot all these stones with a Pack-a-Punch weapon. Now there's going to be one to the right inside the church. Oh, and it's raining actually fairly hard right now. So the next one is going to be at Origins, off to the right of the foot puddle. And then the next one is going to be at Verrückt, and there's a little rock. Yep, I think I hit it. And then suck that one in. And then the next one is going to be at Shangri-La. And then the last one should be on the DE wall run, which this one is the hardest one to get because you have to do it as you're wall running. And so I believe I got it there. And then again, with all these, you just want to shoot your upgraded Apothicon Servant, in which it has to be upgraded. It can't be the Unpack-a-Punch version. And every time you do suck it in, you should always hear a voice line. Or not a voice line, a audio note. After you do all that, there's going to be these pile of bones that weren't here before. You're just going to suck that in. After those are sucked in, you're going to shoot another shot, in which my game does lag here a little bit. Now this girl zombie is going to be Innocent Sophia, and here I actually almost take it down. And so right now we're going to have to shoot all of the lasers that are at each of the rituals. Oh, actually no, I'm already ahead of myself. She's going to drop a reel. You're going to take that reel to Origins, and after that, now it's shooting the lasers to each other. So I've always found it really difficult because each one has 2 of these element 115 crystals. I think it's always going to be the one if you're coming out of the portal to the right of it, so you're actually looking at the turret and not in the portals behind you. It's always going to be the one to the right, so it's going to be easy enough for you guys. You're just going to do that with every single one. Obviously, if you have raindrops, you're going to have plenty of points to use it, and if you do mess up, you can always go to another one, because I know whenever I redid mine, or whenever I redid this run, I did end up messing up.
Always have to work this hard.
And so again, all these, it should always be to your right. Shoot those. Sometimes it's going to be finicky. It's not going to trigger at the beginning. And then once they do, you're just going to interact with Sophia right here, and she's going to take you to Kino der Toten. And you're just going to, it's like a mini escort, but not a real escort. Like, you can loosely be around her, and she'll just still go about her way.
I know everything's gone.
She's going to take you to the giant teleporter that is actually in Kino der Toten, and then once you get in there, you're going to hold F, X, square, whatever your interact button is, and it's going to teleport you to Samantha's room.
It'll be fine.
Now again, this Easter egg was fairly decent. I had high hopes coming into it, but after my boss fight, I hated this Easter egg. I dreaded coming back to it, but I came back to it and it was actually kind of decent, but it was okay. So after you come to Sophia's room, right there, you can see the Chronorium. Then it's going to take about a minute for it to come in, or for you to come out. And then what you're going to do next, take it and put it on top of the podium at Kino. Then there's going to be 4 eggs that spawn. So how I think of it is that they're going to be linked with DE and Kino are going to hold the same egg spawns. Shangri-La and Spawn hold the same egg spawns. Origins, Mob of the Dead hold the same egg spawns, and then Verrucht is going to be the only one that is solo on their egg spawns. Each egg, you're just going to take it and bring it to Apothicon, and there's going to be 4 slots for each of the eggs, obviously. Now there's a bunch of different spawns that I personally couldn't find all of them with my limited time of playing. So I would just say, just look pretty much everywhere. They're going to be glowing orange, so they're going to be pretty standout-ish compared to this map. Except for this one at Shangri-La, which I do believe I got the one that spawns in fire, or in the little fire pits leading up into the temple. Right here. Yep, I did get that one. So that one, always look out for. That one I actually got fairly common on. So if you do, if you can't find your one for Spawn or Shang, double check that spot, because that sometimes I'll look at it and be like, oh, I have nothing there, and then obviously there's an egg there. So always double check your shit. And so obviously you can see I'm very late into the rounds. That's only because of the little Arnie step in the Apothicon. It was not fun for me. I hated every single second, because I think I went through like 7 max ammos because I didn't know the exact like angle to hit the little Rutten. And so right now I'm just going to take out this Panzer, and again, highly suggest bringing a Thunder Gun anywhere. So having the Apothicon and the Thunder Gun, you're pretty much set for this entire Easter egg, because when I redid it, I had Apothicon, Thunder Gun, and I believe the HVK. Lifesaver. This game changes so much. So you can actually do some of these eggs early, where you can do 2 eggs at once and then grab another 2 eggs after. Then it's just a simple soul box, just kill zombies, and then it's going to give you these gate worms. Now these gate worms, you're actually going to go into each of those same locations, and then you're going to hear a little like beeping noise, like a sonar. And if you're on console, you're in your controller, you're actually going to feel the vibration. So whenever it vibrates faster, that's when it's telling you that you're getting closer to its location. So always be aware of that, and thank God they made a fix for PC, because I believe beforehand it was just have fun, there's no sense of vibration for you. So one of the spawns is right here that I can drop it at, and I don't know why I didn't. Yeah, just pull out an Apothicon Servant. So after you give up your Gate Worm, it's going to give you a rune, and you're just wanting to pick those up, and if you don't pick it up, then you can't like grab your next, or you can't plant your next Gate Worm after you birth it, because whenever I did this with my friend Crazy, he had that same problem, and we thought it was like a glitch that you just can't pick it up again. So always be aware that you have to pick it up before you even pick up a Gate Worm or another egg. So always be aware of that. So right now we're just going to go to Verrucht, because we haven't gotten this egg yet. And now this egg, I believe, has like 2 spawns up top and then 2 spawns down below for the egg spot. Now for the rune, I've always gotten that electric spawn before, so try to look for others, because I personally haven't had a separate one that wasn't that one. So here I am trying to look for this egg, and it's going to be right next to the Zetsubo tubes. And again, same exact process, just bring it all the way over to the Apothicon, and then get 10 kills. I believe it's 10 or 15 kills for each one. And I'm just running near death because I've been, obviously, you see me tabbing every once in a while. I've been doing this for an hour, and this was not a fun time for me. But redoing it, it was a little bit more enjoyable. So, again, this map is a love-hate relationship with me. Not as good as Gorod, but probably the bottom of Black Ops 3 for me. So, in my tier list, if I would have to tier list this game, it would probably be GK at the top, then DE, Shadows, Zetsubo, and then Rev. Now, some people have Rev as a bottom just because of the story alone and how we were promised a great war map. This map actually isn't too bad. It obviously could have been better. I want to know what it would have been if it was the actual Great War map, and how crazy the entire fan base would have been. Like, I just wish Jason Blundell could come back and just give us this one map and then leave again. Like, that would be the most, in all honesty, badass thing that someone could do, is just give one map and then just leave again. So again, I'm just sitting here waiting for spawns, and the spiders and parasites and I believe furies don't count as souls for this, which is a bit unfortunate, but there's nothing I can do. And there's also actually, I believe, a glitch if you play multiplayer where you only need to grab one, or you actually only need to do one egg, and then everyone at the same time just hold F or their interact button to just like duplicate 4 times that specific Apothicon or Gateworm, and then you each just go into the 4 sections, as I said before, and just plant your Gateworm there. So I believe the last, or the second to last one, is in DE and Spawn. Now DE I kind of had a little trouble finding, but I believe it is actually next to the statues, in which this one was also fairly common. Gateworm location for me, because it's going to be right here, and from my understanding, I think the Gateworms are supposed to, like, quote-unquote signal the importance of the importance of specific locations, because there's one at like Mob, at like the cells, and then the one at Verrückt, which is the first power that we've actually had in Zombies history, which, I mean, yeah. And then what else? That spot, I have no idea what that's supposed to mean personally. Like, there's little to no story for me. Again, I'm not entirely too sure. This map was just weird from the start. And so the last one, we are just going to take the spawn, and this one has just 3 simple places. It's going to be in the area before the jump pad to Origins, the one area right by Quick Revive, and then the area to the right before the jump pad to Shangri-La, in which I believe in this gameplay I had the one right next to Quick Revive. And so here I am, slightly panicking and just fed up with this Easter egg, and I'm just trying to get through it. And believe me, I know this video is gone for a long time, and I've tried to shorten this down for you guys, but I tried my best. but there's just a lot of gameplay, and with my not enough experience with making videos quite yet, that I can shorten it down even a little bit more. But hey, you get to see me ramble on and my understandings of any of the Easter eggs. And so I thought I had to go into the Apothicon to grab another spot, or another Gateworm, which I was wrong about. After you do all your Gateworms and grab all your runes, you're just going to go into the Kino projector room, and there's going to be little things on the ground. It's going to automatically teleport you once you get into it. Then it's going to take you to boss fight 1 is what most people call it. You're going to interact with this book, and it's going to show you these symbols. Now the symbols are the runes that are at the bottom. So that one I got 2 because it goes, because on your thing it shows all 4. Obviously, easiest way is to just number them 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just memorize the numbers. Just because it's going to be a memory game at the end, or not at the end, after it flips all through, or through all 4 of them. It's just going to be like, give me the ones in order, and it's just like, okay. So then it's going to flash our symbols here, in which I wish I had actually paused at each one to show you which one it was. And I know that we start off with 2. So there's 2, obviously you're just going to interact with it. So it was 2, 4, and I think 1, 3, if I'm not mistaken, or 3, 1. Come on. I really wish I stopped. Again, I'm sorry for the poor quality of this video. I was so fed up with this Easter egg, and I just wanted out of it. Now again, if you want me to redo all of these Easter eggs, except without Gobblegums, let me know in the comments. And again, if you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe, hopefully, if you guys are still here. Because I know some of you guys just click on and then was like, oh, this guy's boring. And then you guys just click off. I don't blame you. I'm boring as hell. And so it's going to give you these like little lockdowns, and it's just going to have you kill 2 Margwas, and each of the lockdowns there's going to be 4 because of the 4 runes. And so it's fairly simple. So the first one was, I believe, the lightning one with the crazy place. This one's going to be the quote-unquote void one. And again, 2 Margwas. This is where the thunder gun is amazing, because if you just have a pack-a-punch thunder gun, you can shoot 3 times as a Margwa spawns, and then they just die instantly, which is a fun, not, I wouldn't say glitch, but a fun way to do things, or to kill a Margwa. Now that was actually the void one, and so our last one is going to be the hardest one, and here's where I actually take my first down, I believe. My first down of during the second boss fight, in the actual boss fight, this was my first down of 22, which is the worst performance I've ever had in a game of zombies, of doing any type of Easter egg. I've never had 10 plus downs before. So after you do all 4, you're just going to be gifted the summoning key, and as I almost die right here again, you're just going to grab the summoning key, and it's going to teleport you back into the map, back at Kino der Toten. Kino der Toten. So there's going to be a box in the chandelier right above you, and you're just going to throw this summoning key at it, and it's going to stop, and it's going to do a little animation up top, and then it's going to throw the summoning key back at you. As you see, it grew a giant orb around it. Excuse me. And so again, you're just going to pick it up, and then, so there's one at Kino, Shang, DE, Origins, Mob, Verrucht, and Nacht der Toten. So the first one was in the Kino chandelier. Second one is going to be the Clock of Der Eisen, right above the portal. And so you can actually move where you are, and the orb, or the summoning key, is actually going to launch towards you, which I find to be a fun fact. So the third spot, and I'm just going to do this in a giant circle, is going to be the crystal to the right of the temple walkway. Then we're just going to hop all the way over to Origins real quick, and it's actually going to be this gravestone that you can see in the very back right there. Now, for this game, I'm not going up there because to get a clear shot of it, you actually have to walk into a corner, and with me not having many zombies and me not wanting to flip the round, I just want to keep my zombies. I'm going to try and do a shot from the actual foot, the robot foot location, in which I actually hit it. I didn't even know it was possible that I could hit that. I just did it on a whim. So I mean, hey, future speedrunners out there, if you ever need to do that, there's that lineup if you just want to throw it on your way through. Now the second one, or the fourth one actually, is going to be Mob of the Dead, is actually going to be the poster at the very back of the prison, right in that cell, which a few times I've actually thrown it, said I failed it, and then it just rolls, quote unquote, into the actual painting itself. So that, it's always going to give you a little tease at it. So again, we're going to pick up the orb, or a summoning key. Sorry I keeps calling it an orb, it just looks like one. Then we're going to bounce to Verrückt, and it's actually going to be in the fountain, the LMG mounted turret, or MG mounted turret. And so again, throw it. There are specific lineups for these, but you can, once you watch and do it a couple of times, you kind of get used to where you have to throw them. And now again, the last one is going to be Nacht, in which whenever you go through these portals, make sure you melee. Otherwise you could run into a glitch where it's always going to be in your back pocket and you can't use it until you go down. It's a stupid glitch. All of us hate it. They're not going to fix it. So before you run into the portal, make sure you melee. That stops the glitch from actually happening. And so right now we're actually ready for the boss fight. Now again, I suggest getting the Thunder Gun, Arnie's, DG4s, Apothicon Servant, everything, because it'll just make your life that much easier. So again, you're gonna actually go all the way to the teleporter, back where we went into the first boss fight, or actually where we want to go to Samantha's room. I'm sorry about that. Where we go to Samantha's room, again, interact with it, and it's gonna automatically teleport you there. And so right now, in this version of the boss fight, you're actually going to have to take the summoning key and interact with one of these pedestals, get a few kills. I'm not exactly sure how many kills it is, but it's actually fairly easy. And then I just skipped over to where I was, after my Furies of Downs and trying to get this done because I was so fed up, that you just want to place the summoning key in, get a few kills, and then it'll play a little audio sound or audio cue. Then you're just going to pick it up, and then there's going to be a image of Sophia right there. You're just going to throw the summoning key into her, which is going to fire a laser at the Shadow Man. I'm just going to throw an Arnie just to keep him off me. And then again, shoot the Shadow Man until he goes into the mouth of the Apothicon. Now, after that happens, you're just going to hold F on the book itself. Excuse me. You're just going to hold F on the book, and it should shoot a laser at the Shadow Man. Now again, I'm going to be quiet for this part, but we still got a little bit more. I'll be quiet during the cutscene. If you guys enjoyed, remember, like, comment, and subscribe. And again, thank you for coming and joining me on this journey, because this was such a fun experience, having to go back and do all the Black Ops 3 Easter eggs. And again, I appreciate you guys for watching this entire series. It actually got me a drive to do YouTube. So, again, I appreciate you guys for your time and consideration, and some of the wonderful comments that you guys slightly posted. Some of you guys did, some of you didn't. Still, I appreciate every single one of them. And I will talk to you guys, hopefully, in the next video.
With the evil vanquished, I can stop making it all nice again. No undead, no apothecons, no shadow man. All of it gone. Forever. But here's the funny thing. You snowflakes shouldn't even still be here. You should be fading out of existence by now. Those blood vials.
I was wondering when you'd bring this up.
They're from realities we've already closed off. They shouldn't be here. They can't be here. Such a paradox means you're putting my perfect world at risk. You guys and your bloody free will. What to do? What to do? Well, you certainly can't stay here.
You could send us somewhere else. Somewhere we've never been.
I suppose I could make a little corner somewhere in history. A place where I can dump some of the other shit that I've left over. Or I just wipe you from existence. Ooh, hang on. Actually, that all works out perfectly.
Hey guys, it's Night Owl here. If you guys liked the video, like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope y'all have a good rest of your day.